Programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where, as promised, we are taking a look at the Masterverse Evil-Lyn figure. And I do actually have to say, right off the bat, this is a much better figure than Skeletor is, actually. I have to say. Start off here, really nicely done paint details. Fantastic sculpt all over this figure. Yes, I am just hopping straight in. You can see, they even did a slightly different color for her boots from her leggings. Most of her clothing is molded and textured, actually, which is always a nice touch. Again, fantastic job on that head sculpt and the paintwork. But here's the first part of why this figure is better than Skeletor. She can actually pose. Head is on a ball joint just like Skeletor, so, similar range of motion there, wiggle, up, down, turning. Shoulders, full rotation because nothing is in their way. They move out and even up. Swivel right there at the bicep. The double jointed elbow actually works. So you get that full range going there. Wrist rotation, and there is a hinge right there, as well as a little bit of extra plastic strings. But yeah, so you get, you can actually use her joints all the way. Ball joint here in the torso with a really good range of motion on it. Works as a turning point a little bit as well. Rotation right there at the waist. And unlike Skeletor, you can actually move her legs outward and then move them back down. Yes, this figure is not locked in an A pose. I can actually put her legs down, which is fantastic. She kicks forward really well. This lower part of her robe, I guess, I'm trying to figure out clothing again here, is a soft plastic, so it does bend out of the way. You can even get her legs back a fair decent amount, even with this here. I'm sure if I did that, I could get it to go a little more. Rotation right here at the top of the thigh. Double jointed knee. So again, great range of motion there. There is a rotation just at the top of the boot, which again, I love when they hide the joints in the seams like that, because it makes it so much easier to keep the figure, from looking awkward. Get a tilt and rotation at the ankle. The tilt and rotation is kind of the same joint, but it's there. It's very useful. Foot can also go forward and back. So already we're off to a really good start here in terms of all that. And really quick, just because I can, here she is with the first version of the new for 20 Evil-Lyn. I guess they have since reissued this figure in a actual skin tone instead of the yellow going on here. I'm not willing to go get another one. I'm gonna keep my weird yellow skin. But then, holy crap, this figure comes with a lot of accessories actually. First one is actually just kind of this, shoulder satchel kind of thing. I'm sure if I paid more attention when I watched the show, I'd specifically know what this is, but it's a satchel. You can throw it over her head, and she can do satchel-y things with it. Well, I'm not going to go through and switch them all out. She does come with, obviously, her holdy hands, which are on right now. A pair of open hands. They even have little ring segments molded into the underside for where that bit of the sleeve, I guess, is, or the gauntlet is holding on. A pair of fists. She comes with 2 staves, because spoilers for the first 5 minutes of the show, her magic stick gets cut in half. So yeah, you've got it full length and post cut in half. I do have to say, I really like the translucent purple plastic they used up here on the top. That looks really good. Basically the exact same staff either way, just one is substantially longer. And then actually, the best part of this figure is she does come with an alternate head. And here you can see that the ball joint is also on a peg here that gets it a little bit of extra back and forth. But you have the option of a no hat Evil-Lyn with an equally, fantastically done head sculpt. I have to say I do prefer this head just because the hat's a little silly. I know it's classic. Also, they did a good job getting the skull on top of it there. The hat's classic, I get that, but this looks better. This looks a lot better. Though it can interfere with the satchel. You have to make sure you get that tucked up under her hair. And as is always my biggest requirement with figures like this, yes, she can hold the big stick with both hands if you're smart enough to get her thumb out of the way. Her hands are very, very small, actually, so it can be tricky sometimes to get her to hold this thing. Why am I too stupid to do it now? I just had this in her hand. And as you can see, I'm still breaking off all the little extra pieces of flashing and stuff from the molding process here. But yeah, I have to say, while I do still really, really like Skeletor, who I have actually managed to finally free up a little bit of this other joint. Still can't get his legs to straighten back out, but I can at least use some of that joint. Yeah, Skeletor's cool. I'm still not going to knock this figure. But Evil-Lyn is just infinitely better. Way more accessories, way more, better use of the posability. And as far as I can tell, I didn't get lucky with her or anything, my lack of QC. I'm not hearing about people having QC issues with this figure the way I'm hearing about just constant problems with Skeletor. Also, worth mentioning, her changing staff thing that comes with Skeletor, apparently this is really just meant for Skeletor in at least this figure line. Because as you can see, this is actually a lot bigger around than the magic staff that she comes with. And I'm not sure about forcing this into her hand, actually. Because, if you stretch the fingers out, then she can't hold on to the accessories she's actually supposed to use. But either way, yeah. I still recommend Skeletor. Just be aware that you're going to be rolling the dice on him. But if you get him, you've got to get an Evil-Lyn to go with him. She's easily the best figure of this line that I've seen so far. Though, again, like I've said, this is also the only other figure of this line I'm probably going to mess with. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.